If you look at his career and what he's done in his life, he founded an investment company that he called Main Capital. You're going to hear the Democrats trying to make him look like an evil Gordon Gekko profit raider. If you look at the record, he actually was a very successful business person, created many, many thousands of jobs, created a lot of wealth for his investors. He left there and went back and ran a consulting company that was facing bankruptcy. He rescued it, turned it around. He then went to the Salt Lake Olympics, which, as you recall, were facing a massive budget deficit. They had had a crisis epic proportions there. He turned things around there. One of my favorite stories, one of the first meetings there at that when he was at the Olympics, they had been used to, he gathered all the important people working on the Olympics, and they were used to very fancy dinners. And my dad said, no, we're not going to any restaurants. We're holding it here in our building, and we're serving pizza. And they all got there. They were a little gruntled about that. And then as they were taking the slices of pizza, he was charging them $1 a slice. And they knew there was a new sheriff in town. Things were going to be done a little bit differently than they had been in the past. And you know what he did there? He looked at the budget. They had a $400 million budget deficit. They had no new sponsors because all the revenue was sponsorship. They had no new sponsors for 6 months because of the bribery scandal. You can imagine people didn't want to be associated with bribery. And so the first thing he did, he said, well, first we need to be able to cut all the waste. Anything that we don't need, we're going to cut. And he chopped a lot of programs. He didn't quite get to $400 million, though. And then he went out on the road, and he appealed to people's patriotism. He said, we're going to make this the best games that America's ever seen. It's going to be on our home soil. You're going to be proud to be associated with it. You'll be proud to be part of the solution to these problems. And he got people to join on. And once you got the first person to join, it was easier to get the second person and the next person. And by the time the Olympics came, not only did he leave Salt Lake in the black. By the way, Olympics never turn a profit. They always leave massive budget deficits behind. He actually left Salt Lake with a $100 million budget surplus. And they now use that money. It's perpetually there, and it funds all of their facilities, their Olympic facilities. And we have U.S. athletes that are trained there in the luge and the downhill ski and other things, all from the leftover money that was created from that Olympics. So he has this ability to turn things around. What did he do when he left the Olympics? He came back to Massachusetts. I don't know if you remember, in 2002, we had a recession then, and Massachusetts was facing a $3 billion budget deficit. We ran against an opponent of the Democratic Party who said the only way to fix that, the only responsible thing to do, was to raise taxes. We had no choice. We had to raise taxes. Otherwise, too many services would have to be cut. My dad said, no, you don't have to cut services. You can cut the wasteful spending and make the environment right for businesses to move in. And that message worked. Amazingly enough, Massachusetts, we're almost as democratic down there as your state is up here. Actually, I think there's more Republicans in this room than we had in all of Massachusetts in 2002. Only 13% of the state was registered Republican. And he was able to win on that message. And he got in there, and by the time he left Massachusetts, not only did they close that $2 billion budget deficit, but he left them with a $2 billion rainy day fund, which is remarkable. Unfortunately, he had a Democratic governor come in after him, and what do you guess has happened to that rainy day fund? It's gone. It's went their way right through it. So you can imagine when my mom asked my dad, can you fix it? His answer was yes. And the answer was yes because he knows how to fix problems. He knows how to take big deficits, big problems, get in there, surround himself with lots of really smart people, tackle the issues, go out and talk to people, get their understanding, get people to buy in on both sides of the aisle. By the way, in order to fix the budget deficit in Massachusetts, the legislature was 86% Democratic. Think of that. 86% of the legislature was Democratic. So anything that he wanted to write into law, they could veto without any problem. So he had to learn to compromise. He had to learn to get the other side to come along and to see things for what they were and work together together, and they work together to solve that problem. Now, I know Washington is a tough place. I know that it's changed a lot of people. I can tell you, because I know my dad, and I've known him most of my life, that Washington will not change him. He's going to get in there. He's going to make a lot of people angry. There will be a lot of media talking about how dare he attack this special interest group, how dare he take on this sacred cow. He's going to get in there, and he's going to get the job done. He's going to bring down our deficit. He's going to help get the economy moving again. And he's going to fix the mess that we're in. Let me close with one personal story that I think illustrates who he is. And then I'll open up and let you ask any questions.